All right, I'm recording. So Kevin Bittner from Singer Orchards, one of the first ones with an organic orchard planting utilizing my Finger Lakes FLX orchard post. Yeah, why don't you just kind of tell me what you got going on here, Kevin?
We have a new planting, all scab-resistant apples, planted intentionally for organic. Because of that, our certifier would not let us use treated posts, and untreated posts don't tend to last well, so we went to a metal post to try and make a stronger trellis. They went in easy. I find them to be really flexible as far as wire placement with the 6-inch gaps. I think they're just a very easily utilized post.
And a lot of labor saving too, I would think, over your stapling and such, being able to hang it.
Snaps right in real easy.
Yep. I could see coming back later with like a wire tie, doing like every other post or every other one of these, maybe to keep them seated in.
If there were a roll in the land, I'd be more worried about that.
Right.
Our land is fairly flat, so I think there's just enough of a hook in these gaps, in these grooves here.
Yep.
That it'll stay
Anchor
just
it
fine.
in nice.
Yep.
Now, you consider too, for training the tree, you could go the wire on every other side as well, and you could also zigzag through the middle of the orchard so that you're almost like lacing it up to strengthen even more your side to side.
So far, we've just run it down one side just to run the machine up and down the row.
Yep. And you're going to put about how many more wires on, you thinking?
At least there's 2 on now. We're going to do at least 3. And the irrigation's going on the bottom wire.
Okay. And how far do you have these in the ground?
30 inches.
Excellent. How far is your tile and stuff down usually around here?
Typically 4 feet.
Okay.
This orchard is all sand. There is no tile here.
Right.
You're on top of 30 feet of sand.
Wow. Nice. Right next to the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see guys get all their posts down minimum 36 inches, because these 30 inches is not working, and lots of times it's even less than that.
I've had 30 inches work for me, whether it's wood posts or these.
Yeah, so good, even in the sand that you have.
But I'm not in any rock. So
Yeah.
my posts going solid, you don't get beat up.
Right. Nice. This
Also,
looks good.
I put the posts a little closer together. I kept them, I think 11 trees most of the way, so they're 33 feet apart.
33 feet, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards telling guys 25-ish feet, because it depends on obviously your tree spacing. You're only talking a couple more posts, but if you feel comfortable in opening it up, that's your choice. I have to overbuild it for you guys, in a sense.
I also put them closer together at the ends of the rows.
Makes sense too.
So I have the anchor,
Yep.
end post, and then
Yep.
the first one I only skipped 8 trees.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's 24 feet.
And I think if you double up those end posts, weld those together, you can be an entire metal system here. He is getting a little bit of a bend. There are some ways around that though too that I think would work.
I think once the upper wires are up, they'll help
Correct.
pull that bend
Correct.
back. We said
Correct.
put the rest of the wire up yet.
Yeah, you haven't really equalized the pressure on it. Yeah. Now, did you feel that there was any benefit working with these posts as opposed to wood posts, such as because they nest together and they're just easier for the guys to lay out faster and stand up, and
A lot lighter, a lot easier to handle. Able to handle them a whole lot faster because they are in a nice tight bundle. You can fit more of them on the trailer when we're running out, laying them out.
Yep.
The wood posts, they're heavy beasts sometimes.
They sure are. And especially these guys talking about changing varieties, you're going to need to address getting rid of these pressure treated posts. I know a lot of guys are just burying them or burning them, and
We haven't taken out any
Yeah.
we've taken out so far were older trees where we just had the large post at the end of the row.
right.
We were able to just cut it in half, use it as an anchor post as on
Yep.
new orchards.
Yep. And those older posts, honestly, were better posts too.
Better treatment.
Better treatment, better quality. It was an older tree, but with the demand of the bigger posts, it's getting consumed in dimensional lumber, and then obviously for the industry of trellising and deer fencing nationally is really consuming it. So You know, you see the red pine. The red pine makes me nervous. I mean, I sell it. Lodgepole. There's a lot of freight on it. You know, it's coming across country. And southern yellow pine, you know, if you can afford it and order way ahead too. With the 10 and 12 foot's tough.
All my wood posts to date have been lodgepole.
Yeah. And they're lasting for you.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. Well, I am selling some red pine. It's a New York variety. It's a New York treater. Just because it's what the market's demanding me to do. It's against my better judgment, but you know how they're coming under the philosophy that they're going to be tearing out the variety. You know.
On the other hand, we're looking at orchards where we keep the variety and just top work it to the next one right in the same rootstock and trellis.
Yes, and there's more and more of that talk. And I think, again, that's the benefit of the metal post is that you can take this out, you can reuse it. And at the end of the day, you got something you could scrap or cut or sell. But I think you could reuse an awful lot of these if you had to.
The one thing I learned with these posts, when I use a tamper to put them in,
okay,
I have to have it straight before I start tamping it.
Okay.
If it's at an angle, and I try straightening it when it's a third of the way in. After I get off it with the tamper, it'll spring back to the original angle.
Yes. Yep. These are high tensile,
So
as opposed like the one you saw on the bed of my truck that's bent.
Yeah.
These are high tensile.
So I ended up putting a rope hanging from my tamper to use as a guide to get them straight before I even put any weight on
excellent,
them.
excellent, like a little plumb bob.
Yep.
Okay. Did you put any kind of like tube or well casing or some kind of slip guide to go over the top of the post some as you're vibrating it?
I have a cup bolted to the bottom of the tamper.
Okay, and it's the same cup you're using for the red pine. I mean,
Yes.
excuse me,
lodgepole.
the lodgepole.
Yep.
And that works fine.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's something I haven't had the answer to yet.
I was nervous about if I'd have to put a block of wood or something in there to keep from mushrooming the top of the post.
Yeah.
That's bare metal on metal and didn't touch a single top of it.
Yeah, isn't that something? Yeah, because you know how it boogers up the tops of the post, and we're gonna go for a ride up here, and there's the top of the post. Yeah, there's like no damage.
No, it worked great.
Yeah, well, this stuff's tough. It's it's high carbon. It's railroad rails, of which then are heated and rolled again, and even stronger than what they were before. Yeah, this looks good. So this is what, 3 foot tree spacing?
3 by 12.
3 by 12.
So the posts are up 9.5 feet, and I'm planning on growing a 10-foot tree on them.
Okay.
So the finished height of the tree will be 6 inches above the top wire of the post.
I would like to see it come in, if you can get some locusts or some cedar, something to keep you organic, and do some line bosses. Something up there in that middle, something in a low spot up there.
I've had cedars rot out, and I haven't found a good source of locusts.
Yeah.
I had some cedar. I'll never do it again. I'm going to go in my orchard that has cedar and use these as repair posts.
Okay. Yeah, cedars. Well, it's like anything. Everybody talks about, well, my grandpa had cedar posts. Well, that's because grandpa was going out in February, and with the right moon phase, cutting an old growth in the swamp, as opposed to all this stuff that is being fertilized and pushed to grow faster. It's not the same.
It's half the density.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what's happening to all this wood.
This is happening to pine. This is happening to...
Yep. Not with the lodgepole. That's still old growth, wild growth. But again, though, it's all that freight coming across country. I mean, it's, if I was to guess, it's probably twice the cost of the post getting it east is, and whether we bring it rail or it doesn't matter. It's going what, 4,500 miles.
And you have to order it well in advance. This is shorter shipping.
Yep.
I'm happy with it.
So Kevin, one thought I had too was, let's say that this wasn't, I'm going to pause this one, because then I get to have